Yes, please.
So we're official. Yeah. So by the way, those of you that are here live in the Building Real Love in Real Life group, hello, David Lee, Paige Stewart, with Daring Deeply Coaching, your host and administrators and all the things here in the Building Real Love in Real Life group. So welcome. We have a lot of new folks in the group. So if this is your first time checking us out live, we are here every Wednesday. As far as time frame is concerned, noon Central Standard Time here in the United States. I know we have an expanding audience globally, so welcome on in. Boy, it's evening in Europe. I know because we have several. We have a handful of clients in Europe, and it's 7:00 in the PM. So maybe they're here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here live, let us know that you're here live. We love to know how you're here, why you're here, and where you're tuning in from. So I'm going to bring this up so I can keep an eye on everybody. And let's see. There we go. All right. I think we're good. Paigey, you're looking stunning, looking brilliant, looking beautiful. That's a great color on you, babe. And I know you know.
Thank you.
I know you know that. And you have. Thank you for that. Sit up. Stunning. Golly. Woo! Woo! She is gorgeous. Yeah. Right. That color is really great for you. Is it skin tone? Is that how you? Yeah.
Skin tone, hair, all the things. Yeah.
Really, hair too.
Mm-hmm.
So color of hair.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were more dark, more of your natural color, is that still apropos?
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty close to my natural color, pretty blonde. But like for brunettes like you look better in gray, grays than browns.
Grays and browns. Grays and browns. Yeah.
I have to say, I think I look a little better than I feel today. So I've got my little like sexy cold voice happening here.
You
got
do have a sexy cold
sinus
voice.
Situation. Mm-hmm. There's an episode of Friends.
Yeah.
What?
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
There's an episode of Friends where Phoebe has a cold. Mm-hmm. And she gets like this, she calls it her sexy voice. Mm-hmm. And so she thinks she just sounds like so amazing when she's singing all her songs, and it's hysterical. And then her voice goes away, and then she's desperate to go get another cold so she can get her sexy voice back. And it's just absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. And that's what I think of right now. I think I have Phoebe's sexy voice.
Yeah. Those of you that are familiar with Friends, I mean, it's a show that's, believe it or not, 30 years old now. And certainly started in the mid 90s, but brilliant show. Not that we're endorsement. We should get paid for that because we mentioned Friends quite a bit, but yes. And as your partner, babe, I love hearing the raspy voice, a little sexy. Oh yeah, that's right. That's my woman. That's my one. All right. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to talk about, what are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about, how long? Oh, what if I don't hear from my partner? So we had a free live coaching event, a hot seat coaching event this past Monday. So for those of you, by the way, that are watching, I think we've got some people here. Hello, Deborah. Do you go by Deborah? Debbie? Deb? Let us know that you're here if you're joining us live, and if you're watching this later, #replay. So let us know where you're calling in from, and we consider these conversations. So if you have questions, if you have comments, please drop them in the chat. And so we're going to talk about, what if I don't hear from my partner? How long do I wait? We had a question very similar to this past Monday night, and it's very common, as we know, in relationships, as far as the intricacies, the delicacies, and what each partner wants as far as communication, right? And wow, this can be a huge source of conflict within a relationship. And I know we have had clients where we've had conversations with a woman who identifies more in her feminine energy, and she says, I want to hear from my partner throughout the day, right? But he's working and he doesn't contact me, and I would love to hear from him through the day. And then, of course, we've seen this, on both sides of the fence, so to speak. So when masculine men like, I don't hear from her, what's going on, right? And so this can really swill in the idea of codependency and neediness. And at the same time, it can be incredibly important to understand the levels of communication, levels of communication within a relationship. So we had this question, and I think it was a woman who asked, so how long do I wait? I'm in the dating space. And by the way, this is incredibly pertinent to all relationships, whether you're dating, in a long-term relationship, marriage, whatever it may be, is what is the level of comfort and reassurance in your communication in your relationship? And I think she was in her dating space, and she said, well, if I don't hear from him through the day, I begin to feel abandoned. I begin to feel insecure. And I believe that I've heard this, maybe not this particular situation, where then he hears that and calls it needy, calls it codependent. Like, why do you need to hear from me, quote, all the time? So we're going to tackle this particular question and kind of look at it from a polarized sense, a polarity lens, as we are trauma-informed polarity coaches. And I'm going to be quiet for a second. Thoughts, babe, on kind of the feminine perspective? Like, why in the world is a woman seemingly more concerned when she's in her radiant, when she is in her healthy feminine energy, that she wants to hear from her man?
Why is she concerned? Like,
yeah, why does she more so want to hear from her man than we typically see maybe on the masculine side? And we can dissect that. And I'm curious from your feminine side, like, why is it important to hear from me throughout the day?
Yeah.
Why is that important to you? Yeah.
Well, this whole thing is very complex because, as we know, partnerships to be, they are two individuals that are showing up to heal themselves and support one another in their own healing. And so there's a lot of different layers of wounding that get in the way of communication in general and reaching out in general. And there's a lot of like second guessing and anxiety around, oh, should I do this? Or maybe I should wait a little bit, or maybe I've asked too many questions. Maybe this is deterring him. Maybe she's needy. Maybe she, it just like kind of begins to spiral in that sense. There's a lot of layers and it's very complex. And speaking from the feminine perspective, I love hearing from you. Like just earlier this morning, you said, hey, just FYI, I'm at this coffee shop, or I'm working at this particular place today. And it just brings, a sense of relief to my body, that I know where you are and that you're safe and that you're, taking care of you. Because when you're taking care of you and you're safe and you're provided for and protected, then I trust that I'm going to be receiving all of those things too. And so I deeply appreciate, and that's very new in our relationship. It's not something that I have experienced in previous relationships with anyone, romantic or not. So having that information and that open line of communication really brings great peace and clarity to my body.
Mm-hmm. I want to bring note to something that I just witnessed and all of you just witnessed if you're watching this live, or again, if you're watching this later, #replay. Did you recognize when I asked her a question, how does it make her feel? How does she feel when I communicate with her on a regular basis and keep her abreast of what's going on in my daily life? She closed her eyes and she entered into her feminine energy, her body, and expressed through an emotion and said, I feel at peace. I feel reassured. I feel good. And we're always trying to improve our words on good. But you feel, when I'm communicating with you, that then you can rest and relax, knowing where I am and knowing that I am safe and secure and taking care of me. Because again, a powerful notion in a trauma-informed, polarized relationship, right, is that she feels safe and secure. And when Paige knows that I'm safe and secure and I'm taking care of myself, then she feels safe and secure because her man is taken care of. And when her man is taken care of, I can then take care of her. So this is not, gentlemen, those of you that are watching, this is not about neediness. This is not about checking in on him or checking up on him. Okay, this is where a lot of conflict can come in, where he feels, gosh, why does she need to know where I am? Why is she checking up on me? At the essence of the core of the feminine energy is she simply wants to know that you're safe and secure.
Yeah, that, and I feel important. I feel important. I feel thought about. I feel invited into your world. I feel like we are a team. I feel like you are protecting me in that way of just communicating where you are. I feel less in the dark And I've been in the dark in several relationships where I'm like, geez, I thought he would be home by now. I don't know where he's at. It also helps to build trust too. Like, I trust you more when I am in open communication with you throughout the day and your whereabouts. And yeah, it's not this checking in. It's not keeping tabs on you and making sure that you're not messing up or doing something you're not supposed to or anything like that. It's different. It's more of, it feels more out of respect and trust.
Yeah, absolutely. So respect and trust, which is of course foundational to a polarized trauma-informed relationship, right? And I love how you said, and I feel, because I am confident in who I am and what I'm doing, because I've done so much work. I've done so much inner healing, trauma work consistently. And by the way, those of you that are watching this, Paige and I are being coached. We do have therapists. We do have people who are pouring into us. So then we can pour into all of you and provide support and love and correction and direction and coaching and insight and information. And because I am in this ongoing space of receiving regular coaching and therapy in all these places, is I am confident in who I am to know that, wait, I am not reporting to Paige because I need to know that she knows that I'm not doing anything wrong. That those are off the table. And I've been there. I have been there. And there are many of you that may be watching this right now who are in that space. Whether you're married and there is levels of distrust and insecurity, which for both parties, healing needs to take place. It's a whole nother conversation. Or if you are in the dating space and you're thinking, you may be watching this right now and thinking, well, what does that mean when I first start dating a man? What are the expectations of communication? What I will share with you, and I would love to hear Paige's response on this too, of course, is it is the responsibility of the dominant, powerful, masculine man to lead communication with his partner or potential partner. I don't care if we're talking, right? We just met, we're texting, and we haven't even met. We haven't even gone on our first date yet. Is that it is his responsibility to pursue her. And that means it's grounded in communication, that he is communicating with her. He is ensuring that she knows that you, ladies, are the priority. Even when you first begin dating. If you have questions, ladies, on whether or not he's interested in you, okay, if he feels fickle, if it feels like, oh, sometimes I get communication, sometimes I don't, that is an indicator that he is not secure in his own masculinity to know and to come and to pursue and claim you.
Yeah, bingo.
How's that feel, baby?
That feels so amazing. And I want to applaud you and just appreciate you. From the very beginning, you have been very strong in your communication and how you have led us since the dawn of Paige and David, since the very beginning. And I remember receiving all of your communication, just kind of checking in, seeing how I'm doing, letting me know what you're up to. And of course, we were long distance at the time. And there were a few moments where my wounded masculine energy was like, geez, like, what do you need me so much for? Right. And it's because I hadn't been in any other relationship where there was that much communication, even though I longed for that. I longed for that. And then here it was being presented in front of me. And I was like reading into it, like, gosh, like, what's wrong? Like, I feel like bothered by this. And so that was me, my wounded energy, pushing this healthy communication away because it was unfamiliar. Right. And so often the unfamiliar feels scary. It feels unsure and it's hard to trust because we've never experienced it before. So I do want to celebrate you. The more I got to know you, I was like, oh man, this guy is just amazing at communicating. And of course, I love the way that we communicate now and how it has evolved into, it's just a beautiful dance all throughout the entire day. It feels, and it feels enlivening. It feels playful. It feels safe. It feels protective. It feels like I'm in the know. I feel like I have a true partner, and it's beautiful. So thank you for leading us in that way.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate those words.
And supporting my layers of wounding and my healing of them as well.
Yeah, it's I lost my train of thought. I was getting ready to go. What was I going to say? Well, I'll go on to my secondary thought. So here's a little hack information. Gentlemen, I'm speaking to you right now. Are you listening? I don't care if it is somebody you just first connected to and you're in a dating situation, or you have been married to her for 35 years. Tell her, good morning, I love you, how are you, and how did you sleep? And I'm going to cuss, every fucking morning. Okay. Paige and I have been known each other for 2.5 years. We've been dating for a little over 2 years. And still today, I wish her good morning. I ask how she's doing. And if she's feeling under the weather, which is she's feeling a little bit of that right now, is how are you feeling? What do you need? One of the most powerful ways a masculine man can communicate to his woman is saying, what do you need from me right now? I'm going to let that sit for a second. Y'all hearing me? Gentlemen, it's time for you to step up. What do you need from me right now? And this is communication that can happen in the initial stages of dating all the way through 4 years of marriage. What do you need from me right now? Because again, the grounding of the masculine energy is to provide and protect and to be there for his woman. And most of the time, Paige will say, you know what, baby, I'm doing okay. I don't need anything right now that I can think of. And then there are other times when she specifically, this is important, feminine and masculine communication, that she expresses through an I feel statement of what she does want and desire. And then I have the opportunity to take steps forward to lead and to provide for her what she wants and needs. Okay. So there's a little bit of practicality, gentlemen and ladies. This is a new standard for you. Okay. If he is not telling you good morning every single day, how are you doing? How did you sleep? What do you need from me right now? Okay. This is a new standard. There, I got that off my chest. I was going to say something else, but it's gone. But I want to recognize a few people. David is here, and Heather is here, and Mike is here, and Lacuna is here. Debbie is still here. So if you are here live, friends, just chime in, tell us where you're calling in from. And if you're watching this later, #replay. So I think we're going to wrap this conversation up, babe. I think what we are saying here is it's super imperative and important for the masculine to lead conversation and communication, and that it's not needy, it's not codependent for the feminine to desire updates, to know how he is and what he's doing through the day. Now, we know everyone is, quote, working, okay? But I'm telling you, gentlemen, I'm going to speak to you again. When you prioritize your woman by sending her a text or giving her a quick call and saying, I'm thinking about you, this is what's going on, I can't wait to see you. There is a little hack for you. So anything you want to add to the end here, babe, as we kind of close this up? I want to hear your feminine wisdom.
I had a couple of things, but then I was about to sneeze. So I've been trying to navigate all of that. No, I think that's great. Yeah. I think one of the questions we had is, how long do I wait? And, if, from the feminine perspective, is if you have not heard from him, then you can express through your feminine expression, your feelings that says, I feel a little disconnected from you because I don't really know your whereabouts or what you're up to, or if you're on time or on schedule or anything like that. And so you can simply express that to him and then see how he adjusts his masculine leadership at that point. And just express that this is really important to you, to have, open lines of communication and to be connected to him throughout the day. And you both can kind of dance between the boundaries and what that looks like that feels best for the both of you.
Yeah, we cannot reiterate this enough. We get this so many questions throughout all the social media platforms. Specifically, is how in the world does she express her wants and desires, right? If she is not to be directive, if she's not to be masculine, if she's not to tell him what to do, if she's not to nag him, right? It is through these I feel statements. I feel confused when I don't hear from you. And it is imperative that the masculine stays grounded in his confidence, does not take that personal, and ask the question, tell me more, babe. How can I help you? What's the confusion about? You getting all this down? All right. So let's put a wrap in this. We have a couple announcements. I think. So our next free night of coaching event is coming up January 9th. It's a Monday, okay, after the new year. We'll be in 2023. So if you're interested in registering for that, we had a ton of people on our last call this past Monday night. You've got to register, friends. You've got to register. We want to see you there. We had some incredibly powerful questions and discussion. And if, by the way, if you're interested in the recording of Monday night's event, you need to drop a comment below and says, hey, I'd like the recording to the 12/12 event, and we will send that to you. We want to make sure and grab your email so you can stay in the know about what's going on. So we want your email. We're not going to spam you, I promise. We are here to support you and provide and protect and give you the latest and the greatest insight and information in trauma-informed polarity relationships. So our next event is January 9th, 2023. It's wild to say that, 2023, but here it comes. It's only a couple of weeks away. So also, ladies specifically, if you are interested in diving into healing your feminine energy, we have a couple of programs, a couple of self-led and guided programs and courses that Paige has developed and leads, and I have a little bit of influence and impact in there. I've got a couple of videos in those programs. If you're interested in knowing more about Femininity 101 or Surrender, our two signature foundational courses for women, drop a comment below and let us know you'd like some more information on that.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Just
you want to say something about surrender and femininity?
just to quickly differentiate. So the Feminine Energy 101 is a 7-day mini course. So it is quite literally a sampling. So a sampling of Surrender, which is our flagship feminine program. It is 7 days. It is a little dipping the toe into understanding what surrender is and feminine energy and things of that nature. Surrender, on the other hand, becoming one with the feminine body, that is a 10-week program. So it is self-led in that you are working through the modules at your own pace, but guided in the sense that you have access to our private Facebook community and jumping on 5 different community group coaching calls. So, you have guidance and support along the way. What was that?
Who? With
me.
Oh, the coaching calls are with Paige Stewart. I love it. Yes,
they are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a beautiful community of surrender ladies over there. And if you have questions, just drop them below and I'd be happy to help provide some clarity. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think that's it, babe. Let's call it. And we'll move on with our day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us live. I want to recognize Sharon is here, and Lacuna has a question which we will recognize here offline. So thank you for dropping that question in here. And Kelly just dropped in too. So good to see you. We're going to hop off. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us live. Again, we are here every single Wednesday in the BRL group, every Wednesday, 12 noon Central here in the States. And we look forward to connecting with you here in the future. And have a fantastic day. Take care. Sounds good. See you later. Bye.